Let me welcome our special guest for today's event, Ms. Sharmila Grover. Ms. Sharmila Grover is an accomplished professional and a thought leader with more than 33 years of experience in banking domain across various senior and leadership roles in leading banks of the country. Her last full-time assignment was as the Executive Vice President and Business Head Payments in Kotak Mahindra Bank. Following her passion, she started off on her journey to spread awareness on POSH, that is, prevention of sexual harassment of women at workplace, prevention, prohibition, and redressal. She fervently works for the upliftment of women and supports them to become financially independent. Let's greet her with a round of applause.
Thank you. And
now I would request Sharmila ma'am to share her thoughts on valuing your value with us.
So good evening, IBS team. And anybody else, I can't see many people on the screen, but see, anyway, whoever has joined on the forum today, good evening to everybody. It's an honor and privilege to be talking to you people who's a powerhouse and a vibrant team. So I always call you a powerhouse. And thank you for organizing this event. It is really important to celebrate women, which is an important, very important piece in the whole universe and bringing up the life and everything. So we are so grateful to the universe that there is one thing which is women, which we are celebrating today. So first of all, wish you a very, very happy Women's Day. And men, don't be sad. There is only one Women's Day. 364 days are. Let's not talk about it. So on the Women's Day, I don't want to make it a very theoretical and a boring subject to talk to or a content heavy one. So just few thoughts, because I work on this field, especially in the area of uplifting women or sexual harassment, etc. So this is a subject very close to my heart. So I'm just leaving few thoughts or information on the table to think about. Don't want any answers and don't want any debate on that, but just some information on the table. Say 57% of the women, they work worldwide. The workforce is 57%. In India, we have only 31%. Out of 31%, 80% women are working on care jobs or organizing jobs, which is either kindergarten teachers or nurses or secretaries or administrative assistants or school teachers. So all these are care and basically your organizing jobs. So is it a skill set problem or is it a bias? I'm just leaving this thought and stopping this over here. Maybe you can think about it. One more thing I want you to ponder about is, and again, we don't want answers here. Assuming in your company, in our company, in IBS, we have two vacancies. One vacancy is about traveling and sales, and one vacancy is about receptionist or administrative secretary. We have two candidates for both the jobs. Both the candidates are equally good. And for both the roles, there is one and me female. Which one will be picked up for the traveling job and which one will be picked up for the secretarial job? I'm just leaving this to think about it, to know yourself, whether you also have a bias or have you come out of it. Just think about it. So I'm leaving this to the theory part of it, and we will rather make it more interactive. And I want teams to talk about their thoughts and let's interact. So what's your view on the women of today? So let's talk to the females in this company. Nidhi, you want to start?
I will not touch the question that you asked, but I will say that in terms of the opportunities that this company brings to the table for whether it is women or a male or a female or a male, I have not experienced that bias myself. I mean, I have been working so closely with the senior management team from last 6 years. I started off small, and that is a good part that I mean, it's a proof, right? We have 50% female. Amongst 30 people, 15 are female employees, and though we get a lot of cribbing from a lot of people that we should hire more male candidates because the gender ratio is becoming too equal.
Yes.
So let's hire. But it so happens that we have a very positive culture in that terms, that hiring a female or hiring a candidate and hiring the right candidate is more important than the gender of it. So I'm happy to say that this is a culture we have cultivated, and we hope to take it further as well.
I'm so glad to hear this. I'm so happy to get this. Anybody else who has some thoughts or questions?
Come on, Supriya. You guys want to say?
Hi, ma'am.
Any questions?
Yeah. See, when we talk about working women or whoever it is, I don't know how to put it in words, but whenever we are in the HR round or wherever, I'm not particularly talking about this company. It is like over the global level, I'm saying. So whenever we come to the end of the HR round or anything, the first question pop-ups in their head, and what they ask is like, are you planning for pregnancy and all? So these questions impact females while getting the job in any companies, or they consider it as like we have to give 6 months paid leaves and those things and all will come. So what are your inputs on this to overcome in any organization or even as a personal thing to me?
Yeah. So I would answer this with my personal experience. So same day, on the Women's Day, there was one open house being conducted in our office, and we had a large team. And at that point of time, I was heading a trade team, heading a function which also had a trade function in it. And trade is a very valued function in the bank. So it's a very precious job and premium job. So we had around 400 people. So we were conducting one open house. And in this 400 team, there were 15 females, just 15 females. So we had an open house, and in that, the 15 out of 15 females, one female asked that, what about the gender here? There is no gender balance. We are just 15 people, and you being a woman and you being head of the department. So what are you doing about it? And that was really very question which embarrassed me a lot. And I wanted to really hide somewhere that this is something which I have never thought of, and that why this has not happened, that we have not hired females in our trade department. So then we said, okay, leave it at that. I understood what you people are saying, and it's wrong that what we have done, and we'll work on it. We left it at that, and we discussed with the managers that what's exactly the reason why we don't hire females. And they gave us 2-3 reasons. One reason is that if the females have to travel or go to the clients, they are hesitant. The second one, they are not able to take too much of pressure because they have to manage their homes also. And third one, they take too many leaves for their work, etc., for their personal things. So in trade, it doesn't work. You have to take heavy pressures, and you have to really be meeting the timelines and deadlines. And fourthly, that we have to sit late and work. So females would not be ready to sit late. So these were the apprehensions which were there in the mind. So first thing what we did there is, we had a lot of attritions in the office. So 100 people are approximately were to be hired every year. So if you have to hire 100 people, you have to get 300 CVs, and you have to get 1,000 CVs and 300 interviews and 100 selections. So a lot of work was there in this hiring. So we told HR to remove the gender from the applications. So the gender was removed. So when the gender was removed, the applications were scrutinized basis their skill sets. Then whoever was selected from this application round, they were given a questionnaire. And the questionnaire asked them some hard questions, that you have a choice of taking a job in the trade, or you have a choice of taking in the lighter area. Trade is premium, and trade, of course, will pay you more, but you have lighter jobs also we have in the company. So are you okay to go to the clients and travel short trips, or you want a lighter job? Are you okay to take the work pressure which is there in the trade, which is a premium job, of course, or do you want to take a lighter job? Are you okay to sit late in case of emergencies, or do you want a lighter job? So some of the people fizzled out. They said, no, we don't want it. Some of the people said, yes, we are okay with that. We want a premium job. And after that, the interviews were done. So the managers who interviewed, the softer part was already addressed that, yes, I'm ready to sit late in case of emergency. Yes, please do not have a bias that I will not travel. Please don't have a bias that I'm not going to take a pressure. All that biases were killed with that questionnaire. And the interviews happened basis on skill sets only. And trust me, when we started, we had 15 females with 400 people. And after 4 years, after 5 years, we had 250 females in a 600 people team. It's a fact that there is a inbuilt bias. We have to overcome that. And that's what is the journey. Even in fact, if you will say today is Women's Day, what is the theme of Women's Day? Every year there is a theme. The theme itself is choose to challenge. There is a bias. There is an inbuilt bias. The world has evolved in such a way that we were biased. This is women's work and this is men's work. This is changing over the period, and it is changing at a very frequent pace. And we have to be part of this change. And we have to make it happen. All of us, we have to make it happen. When you grow into the senior roles, you will have people. You have to be aware of it. What is important is skill and not something else. Yes, people may choose to take a lighter jobs because they have a different thoughts of work-life balance. All that stuff is there. So people are there to make their choices. But once they are making a career choice and they want to give their sufficient time to that, that's it. We should respect that. That will come over the period. Yes, the change is happening. It will happen. It is happening at a good pace. And we are the ones who have to bring the change. Trust me, if we don't bring the change will never come. All of us, we have to be into it for the change. Any other thing? Anybody else? You are wearing a beautiful bow. So you tell me.
Thank you, ma'am.
So ask me. Ask anything, whatever is there in your mind. No, nothing.
As of now, nothing.
Okay, gentlemen, it's not only Women's Day, it's everybody's day who's celebrating women. So you tell me anything in your mind. What's your name?
Hariraj.
Yes, Hariraj.
As you said, like in our current IBS fintech, like it's like we are not the bias, the thing. Like we are a 60 is to 40, like 60 female candidates and 40 men. So in our IBS, it's like what you expected, it's happening currently.
Yes.
Yeah.
But overall, what do you feel about it?
Overall, it's like
is the change happening around you?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like in IBS, we can see like it is happening.
Okay. So anybody else?
So I have the question, ma'am. So for every man, like there is a saying like behind there will be a woman. Right. So I just wanted to know what about you, ma'am? Like throughout the journey, when you're small, now how you're feeling, ma'am? Like how the support is for you. I just wanted to know.
So I would say if you want to be in a career, if you want to grow in your career, it's just not possible without the family support.
Yes.
Your family has to understand you. They have to support you. Either you have to make them understand or they have to understand on their own. But unless there is a family support, women cannot go up the career because the pressure will be so much from the family side and from the office side. If you're unable to balance it, you will not be able to, you'll fizzle out. So to balance it, you always need a family support. In fact, in offices, in my organizations, in banks, we have seen that we hire so many females, but 60 to 70% females drop out after 5 to 6 years of their jobs. Because they have to completely take care of their kids, of their family, of their in-laws and office, and the pressure is so much that they are unable to cope up. So the family is most important. And I'm not talking about women alone. I'm talking about even men. Men also cannot go up the career if their family do not support. The family support is always important. So I think in my journey, I had the support of my family, and it was not an easy job for me. I had a very tough job. So I used to work from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, or sometimes on Sunday, or come home and open the laptop, or maybe sometimes in the crisis situations coming at 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning. But I was lucky enough that my family never said, what is that? Why are you not coming home at time? They always said, okay, when are you coming? We'll pick you up. It's not safe for you to come alone. So I was lucky to have a family support. And I always believe that family support is very important if you want to really be a career person.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
We are saying things are changing and all that, but still we don't see more women in the top positions. There's a lot of gap. What is your thought on that?
So I'm not surprised at that. We have 7% world over. We have 7% who are women who are the CEOs of the company. If the base is small, the top will be small. So it starts from the base. The base itself is small. We are just 30%, and out of 30% working women, more than 70 to 80% fizzle out after 7 to 8 years of their jobs. So the women who are staying back, working, managing their jobs, they fizzle out over the period, and only few reach, and then they reach at the top. Yeah, there is a glass ceiling. Yes, there is a bias, but the number is too small, which reaches up. So I think it starts from bottom. It starts from bottom. It starts by sustaining. It starts by the perseverance, that how women will be able to manage and cope up everything what they have to do, which is balancing, and then still go up the ladder. I think that will change the ratio of 7%. We are not surprised with the 7%. There is a glass ceiling, no doubt about it, which also has to change over the period, which is changing, which will change more. The changes are coming, but I think the 7% reason is just the base. So nobody is talking about work-life balance. This is generally a favorite topic of every session. So we are not talking about
I have to leave in a few minutes, Sharmila ji. So may I leave one thought with you and one question for you?
Yes.
Diversity is being defined not just in terms of gender anymore.
Yes.
It is being defined in many other ways, shapes, and forms. Ethnicity, geographic diversity, preferences of all kinds.
Yes.
So many different kinds of diversity are now being spoken of and being provided for. What are your views on creating a truly diverse workforce? Can they come together in a way that will exploit potential far more than what we are able to exploit today?
I think it's a very important point. The inclusion is the key. Inclusion is the key. If we really want to be a global organization, if we have to be neutral to the gender, to sex, to geography, to personal preferences, everything, the only thing which has to be said is a skill set. And the inclusiveness has to happen. And that is very important. Unless the organizations, even the smaller organizations, bigger companies, everybody become inclusive, where they include everybody from all geographies and all genders, I think we'll be losing out on it.
Absolutely. To both your expressions, I would like to add equity. It is all about diversity, inclusiveness, and equity.
Yes.
To make the best workforce in the world. And I wish IBS FinTech creates that kind of workforce. Now that you are on board, help in making that happen. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was very nice to be here.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye-bye. Bye.
So yes, I will leave this open to the team. Any other question?
So I would like to ask one question, ma'am. Like being a mother and a working woman as well, there can be a conflict between the two roles. So would there be any suggestions from your end, like how can we balance both the things at this point of time when both the things are important at their own places?
So in other words, you are talking about work-life balance. So in every forum, wherever we have open houses, this question comes up. And few things which amuse me is that 95% of the times this question comes from a woman. Very few times it has come from a man, but more to judge how do I manage to see that, whether I'm being responsible to my family or not, and not generally for a work-life balance. Now, of late, I have seen that the Gen Z has started talking about work-life balance, even boys also, because they want to see the life from the bigger spectrum, that they want to also holiday and play and have their hobbies as well as work. So the times are changing, so work-life balance definition is changing. To me, work-life balance is a very misunderstood term. What is your view? Is your view of work-life 8-8-8, which is 8 hours work, 8 hours family time or personal time, 8 hours sleep? Is that your opinion on the work-life balance?
So what I think is that whenever my kid, like I'm a mom of a 7-year-old kid, when my kid wants me over there and I'm not there, he feels bad about it. But equally, the same time, my company also, my organization also needs me there. And since being a career oriented woman, I want to do the job. So balancing both of them without any guilt is very, very, tough.
Yes, that's the bigger question, that women are wired to feel guilty. They're wired to feel guilty. If your child is sick and your work is also important, and if you attend to your work, you'll feel guilty for the child. And if you're attending to your son, you'll feel guilty for the work. So women are wired like that. I think we have to overcome this. Work-life balance is all balancing your life, which is balance is about feeling good and about yourself, and you're in control. So work-life balance is not 8-8-8 or 4-12-8. It's not about that I want to give 4 hours to my work and 12 hours to my family. And no, it cannot be defined in terms of hours. It cannot be defined. It is always defined in terms of feeling good. How do you feel good? What do you do to feel good? What are you getting satisfaction in? If your satisfaction is in working, then in your work-life balance meter, the needle will be tilted towards work. If you're getting more satisfaction in managing your family or having parties, then in that meter of work-life balance, your needle will be tilted towards your personal life. So what makes you happy? That is the choice you have to make. Is family life making me happy? Is party and holiday making me happy? Overall, not in the instances. Is working making me happy? So what makes you happy? Am I overshooting the time?
No, please.
So that's what is about, that what your needle is tilted towards, your satisfaction needles is tilted toward. So stop seeing work-life balance in terms of time. See at the bigger picture and see what gives you more satisfaction, and overall, are you getting that satisfaction or not? Now, there will be some instances. The instances will be where you have to prioritize and make choices. Now, instances can be you have guests at home, or you have your son is sick, or your father-in-law is sick. You have to take care, and you have an important project in hand which you have to make it go live today. You have to prioritize which is more important, and you don't have to feel guilty about it. But at the same time, you have to be responsible and see that the other side is least affected. If your son is sick, I'm sure you will see that somebody's there to take care, or your husband is there, or your friend is there for 2 hours to take care. And in the meantime, you'll go to office and you manage it and you come back early. All that you have to manage, these are instances. This is not the overall work-life balance. So instances you have to manage on case-to-case basis. And don't feel guilty about it. You can't get it all. I know the statement is trolled in a very sarcastic way, but this is a reality of the life. You can't get it all. It's not about women, it's about everybody. You can't get it all. If you are compromising 10% on something and giving 110% of it, somewhere you are compromising 10%. But don't feel guilty about it. This is how the life has to be balanced. And this balancing has to be done by everybody, not only by women, but everybody. Just see that overall, your needle is tilted towards your satisfaction, which is either your home or your partying or your work, whatever. But your needle is rightly tilted overall in a bigger picture to your satisfaction side. Did I answer your question?
Yes, ma'am. Of course. I couldn't have got a better answer than this from anyone.
So we are wired to feel guilty. And I think this is something which we have to really overcome. 2-3 things which I always find and I have seen in my teams and women around me who are working, 3-4 things which women have to overcome or they have to work on to go up the ladder. One is that they have to stop feeling guilty. Secondly, I have seen women who are very hesitant in having the difficult conversations. They try to sugarcoat and talk. They try to say something to not to make other person feel sad or bad. We try to be more sensitive towards it, but females avoid difficult conversations. How many times a female will be comfortable telling other person that you are being laid off from the job? Probably a lot of times we will sugar-coated, organizations, sometimes the roles are there. Sometimes we will do all that background and see that the other person doesn't feel sad about it. But it will be very difficult to have. So I have seen a lot of people who avoid difficult conversations. Third is that we see females, and that is one thing which stopped them growing up the ladder, is that they want assurance. Every time they want praise and assurance. It could be out of lack of confidence because generally the growth is happening, the gender bias is being shortened over the period, but there is still, in mind, there is one idea that maybe there is a bias in the company. So every time girls, women, young women, they look for assurances and praise. I think you have to be more confident. All of you have to be more confident. You don't have to look for external assurances. You have to believe in your mettle, believe in yourself, and just work with your skills. There is no substitute to the skill sets. Just improve your skill sets and keep working, and don't wait for the external assurances. And of course, the last thing and the most important thing is family support. If that is not there, it becomes very difficult to grow in the career. So have your family support, talk to them, make them by your side, and both of you, husband and wife, or father or daughter, or mother and daughter, let's grow all together. That's important. So have I answered it in an extended way to your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other question?
So, ma'am, I have a small one.
Yes.
I personally feel that in a working culture, that definitely family support is important. But having the right support cultivated by the women at work also is important. So
yes, I agree. Completely agree.
Coming from that background, I mean, how do you think can women enable each other instead of competing? And what needs to be there is still a sense of competition which is there, but definitely there is a positive environment which we women can create for each other, which is still missing. So how we can enable that?
See, the first thing, important thing is we have to learn to remove the gender out of our minds. As long as we are thinking it's men, it's women, or it's a third gender, we will always have biases. So once we learn to remove that from our minds, then our minds will only work in terms of skills, in terms of competence, in terms of passion for the work. This is the first thing what we have to remove. And unless we remove that biases, we will always have these competitions. The competition is healthy in organization, but if the competition is gender-based, it is not good. So I think if you remove that from your mind, all of you work on it, the things will become better.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Anyone
I think
else
I have
ask any question?
Anybody else?
And like ma'am also said in the beginning that it's not limited to women only.
Yeah, it's not
The forum
for
is
sure.
open, Jordan, Sayed.
No, it's not limited to women.
The inquisitive guys of our group.
So let's not talk about genders at all. It's not about gender. I wish one day we celebrate life days rather than Women Day or any other day or Man Day or whatever. We should celebrate life.
True.
We have to remove the genders. We have to just think on the metal, on the skill sets, whatever is required at that point of time, irrespective of what gender it is, irrespective of male, female, or third gender, because there is an inclusivity which has to come in now. So that also we have to keep an open mind on it. No doubt, women are epitome of the strength, and it's a global fact that in case of any financial crisis or economic crisis or the political crisis or any other change, major change which has happened, it's a women who normally takes a lead and makes the family and the society settle down in the new norms. It's a global proven fact. So yeah, we are that way a little different also, because we are more sensitive by birth, by DNA, we are a little more sensitive. So we also are better in taking care of the families. But yes, there has to be always a support system which has to work for the females to also shoulder the responsibilities which today we are doing along with the men. So be a woman of substance.
I always feel that women are more stronger, because I feel that one is at home they work, and also they come and work at office. So I mean we men can never do that. I mean, at least that's what I have felt. And I don't know why there's a comparison between gender, but that's a no.
Yeah, so the whole point is remove the gender piece out of it. So everybody has their own strengths.
Yeah.
Women are very good in managing the crisis which is related to the people. Women are very good in managing in the crisis situations. Men are probably good in the physical strengths. So everybody has their own strengths. And when we are working in an organization, it doesn't matter how much muscles you have, or it really doesn't matter. What matters what the skill set you have.
Right.
What is the talent you have? And we have to remove the gender piece out of it.
Yes, completely agree.
So Amit today shared a very inquisitive post with all of us. Amit, you want to say something? You're on mute. You are on mute, boss.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Hi.
No, I just like that post somewhere it was mentioned. So I just thought no doubt in just copying and just sending it also rather than getting it my own. So this says that a woman, the women are the best, one of the best leaders rather. In fact, they always try to unite and get the things settled at the way that it is, rather than having some egos and all that. That's what I believe.
You believe?
Yeah, I do believe that.
Okay. That's good. Pampered.
We're getting a lot of compliments today.
I know. Yes, it's a day to get compliments. As long as we are celebrating Women's Day, I think we must compliment women. The day after 100 years or 50 years, we'll celebrate lives. Then we'll compliment lives. Today, we are complimenting women on Women's Day. So be happy, stay happy, be clear in what you want in your life, and stand for it. There is nothing right and wrong about it, about women being in career or women being at home or women managing house. There is nothing right. It's a personal choice. But whatever the choice you make, just be sure about it, be responsible about it, and also see that where your needle is tilted, you're not being irresponsible to the other section of that. You have to be responsible to both the sides, but keep your needle tilted towards your satisfaction levels. Whatever satisfied you more, just do that and believe in yourself. Don't wait for external assurances. You all have it in you. So I think I have overshot the time. So thank you so much for being there. And thank you so much for asking me. It has also gave me clarity to my thoughts, brushed up my thoughts when I'm talking to you. So it was so nice talking to you. Thank you so much. The entire IBS team.
Ma'am, we equally enjoyed.
Anything Seturaman sir or Grover want to say?
Yes, I want to conclude whatever they discussed now.
Yes.
First of all, thank you very much for the excellent discussion and make people understand the role of women in society and also in offices. Okay, I take the clue from Manjula, which she said, for every successful man, there is a woman behind. It's it's acceptable one I could find. Out of all the 3 directors currently sitting in Bangalore, Grover is the topmost man who speaks well, approaches the problem very nicely. Maybe he has imbibed some of the qualities from you. So you have been helping him to acquire all these qualities from home. Now onwards, you can jointly do it at the office. So take care of all the kids by the side, and then we'll grow greater heights and see by the end of this year, 2021, we are really a big company. And many times I used to ask, every time you are taking ladies, what about gents? And by and large, now it is becoming almost 50-50. And perhaps a small company of this having equal participation by women should be appreciated. And we will not making any gender discrimination, and we are doing our best to select the best candidate so that things move ahead well as planned by our team. So welcome you to the board of directors. Along with, we hope that all people can look for her for the both technical and non-technical, managerial, and whatever it is. And as a human being, she'll be of much help to you. We wish you all the best and we'll welcome you once again to the board.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you.
So you don't have any views on Women's Day?
No, it was
My views with the
an excellent meeting. That's why I told you it's a good meeting with understanding between men and women, and we'll carry on further to see that the goals of the company are achieved rapidly and in the best possible manner with all your cooperation. Yes, ma'am.
No, Sharmila ji, our IBS FinTech is by the strength itself, by whatever actions we do, whatever composition we have, in whether it's a sales or it's a development or it's a implementation or it's a admin. At IBS FinTech, we have never distinguished between male or female. The thinking at the management level was we never thought somebody is one up or other is one down. So we continue with that goal. Welcome on board.
That's the way to go. Thank you so much. And all the best to the IBS team. Keep growing and keep growing.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.